unless I've missed him, but he was apologizing that he missed that. Of which, to me, I am concerned if Rata has missed such a crucial part of the puzzle in this trial, because we're expecting a judge to leave no stone unturned. He must scrutinize every document, every transcript, every version, so that Rata can give us, how can I say, justice in this case. But for him, not that we doubted the defense, by the way, but for him to admit that I've got a problem with that. However, guys, I don't know what because I just don't want us to be. Oh yeah, so okay, he said it's I think he said something, but just that the volume wasn't clear there, and I was rewinding it to YouTube, but I said I'll wait for the transcript just in case. But what is interesting in this case is that Ubaloi is facing his own demons, and in an hour's time, if he's going to eat, I think and then come back to the sport, there will be no time for a full meal, because he needs to sort this quagmire or this issue between the executive statements and the confession. Because 1 minute, and I don't want to repeat what the defense lawyer said, 1 minute is a confession, 1 minute is an executive statement, which, but the court, we know that what the court said, right? So I think the defense have placed good arguments. Even that he placed at the end, state. It was very, very important. We stated that one in the court explaining. It is State versus Sheikh 2001, bracket 1, SACR 247. It talks about executive statement admissible in corruption conspiracy. Now, all State versus Molimi, they've quoted the case that is what she said about the faith and everything. So they are very strong. They are very, very strong when you listen to the entire argument. However, I would like to repeat the minor or the little hole that Rata can use to sneak in Baloi's request, because that's very, very important. But I'll let others speak. Then Puzamanzi, with your permission, then I'll like to read what Rata can possibly. Rata will always argue for Baloi. What will Rata possibly come back on Monday and say? So let me pause.
Hey guys, how's it?
Siyaphila Nkosi unjani?
Nami ngiyaphila sis. Stimulus, how's it?
Hey, ngenye manje. Since square at
yeah. No, Madam, how are you? I think I hope you are good. Stimo, I want to remind you of something. The one lecture that we got at that house that we just mentioned. I'm going to put as it was said on that live, that in those confessions there are executive statements. I thought maybe when you are conducting a case inside confessions, you have to extrapolate the executive statement. That's how I understood that day. Now Msholo is putting correctly that there are totally different, how can I put it? Let me just say sections. Because there are executive statements, there are confessions, there are narrative statements. I thought maybe the lecture we got that day was a perfect and a true reflection of criminal law, but I guess maybe I did not understand it. And the law of my family.
Okay. Stimo, you can come through because ice cream is not talking. This one got a call. Guys, I'm trying to look for Fresh Kid, but I can't see him in the list. Why are you guys the moderators can't invite him? I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, mina ngiyanishiya ngiya ku-YouTube, so yenzani lento yenu ningikhiphe mina kule nto yenu. Ngikhipheni kule nto yenu ngiya ku-YouTube ngiyanishiya. Kanjani, I did give you powers, Marshall Menze, uyi-moderator lana.
I'm back, guys. No, man. Yes.
Hayibo. Usishiye masikhuluma ubuye sowusithi yes hayibo ratha wenja. Shi.
Muta. Yes. Steve, I don't know if you were. I think you were there on that day, man. There was a heated debate about the executive statement, and even the Hawks made a post about those executive statements, saying that I'm telling you guys, the executive statement in those confessions are going to take these guys down. In fact, they said the executive statement that were made by number 2 are going to take these guys down. So now it is no longer a confession; it's an executive statement. So maybe I don't know if maybe Umshalolo Nisi Malo Ramsipi don't know anything about law or criminal law for that matter. But let's wait and see how Malo is going to respond to that. But how Rat has been noting and maybe this time is listening, as will always claim that I listen. He will come up with a correct judgment, because now what I see and notice in this court, I think it has become a pattern to quote case laws when they are not applicable. And even Mumalas did say that.
Sorry guys of YouTube, how are you guys doing? You can continue having a conversation.
Okay, what's up, Noli?
I'm all right.
Then, how are you?
doing?
What's up, my brother?
I'm good.
Good.
Sorry guys, I'm quickly going to the shop. Can you guys continue having a conversation? I need to buy something for my headache quickly.
No problem.
All right,
I figured
thanks.
it out. I figured it out. We got to click the link early these days, just in case.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hi there.
What's up, bro?
Hi there. How are you, sir?
Not bad. I woke up kind of late today,
Look,
so I didn't.
okay,
I didn't catch.
I didn't hear the last guy correctly when he's speaking about the executive. I don't know. He says somewhere they spoke about it. Do you remember?
Oh, I think he's referring to executive statements or something like that, like some kind of statements given to the officers used as a statement. I could be wrong. I don't think he was talking about like the actual executive. I think they're referring to the kind of statements that were submitted. Like I think
No,
executive.
they are referring to a live that we had on TikTok, not the court case.
Yeah, I'm lost.
There's a lawyer that always has a live.
Oh, okay.
But there was never anywhere that maybe in the previous court, that previous dates in the court, where our defense team has spoken about the executive statement. Is it anywhere that our defense spoke about it or mentioned it?
Yeah, I can't recall off the top of my head unless.
No, they never spoke. They never spoke about it in court. The conversation that they are talking about is a conversation that happened last week in a live on TikTok.
Okay.
Yes.
So it means our defense team are right by saying they cannot overturn now. But we cannot overturn now and just decided to say this is an executive statement.
Yeah, that's
Because
why
what
they are
Malone,
coming. That's why they are coming for him like that.
So,
because what Malone is trying to force that this executive statements is the one that he wants to use now, presently, wherever he introduces the statement as confessions.
right. So just help me out real quick. What is exactly does Beloy mean when he says executive statements? What is that supposed to imply for his case?
What he wants to implement is that he wants to take on all accused persons, because if it falls under executive statement, there's some understanding is that it will implicate all the accused irrespective. But if it is a confession, it's something that the defense can defend other accusers and then even dig the loopholes over the confession itself. Now, if it is the executive, it holds you ransom. You can't pour holes on it. Do you get it then?
Yeah, listen to this guy quickly.
Yeah, thank you. I understand.
Better term. This lecture as my brother.
Okay, basically, a confession is an equivocal admission of guilt, whereby the accused person will go in front of the magistrate or a peace officer and say, I, so and so, I admit to doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. Therefore, that person must admit to all the aspects of the crime. You see, I was the one who was carrying the gun, I was the one who shot this person, and that a confession. And that is an extracurricular statement which is done outside the court to the police officer or to a magistrate, as outlined in section 217, which governs the confessions, and also particularly section 219, which also says that a confession can only be admissible to the maker. However, in dealing with executive statements are statements that are said in the furtherance of a crime. For example, when Simo, get arrested, say to the no, they no velap. And this is what we did, no velap. That is not a confession, that is an executive statement. Therefore, that statement is also points out what furtherance of what common purpose. And also, in terms of the admission thereof of executive statement, it must be done in a manner whereby the evidence in the window, meaning that there must be independent evidence that talk to that particular executive statement. For example, the case for X versus Erasmus. In the case of X versus Erasmus, there was an executive statement that was made by this particular spouse who was said to have made a husband. However, when the court outlined or when the court analyzed the evidence, they said that no, this particular statement cannot be an executive statement on the basis that there is no evidence, independent evidence that talk to the commission of that particular crime. Therefore, that person was not found guilty on this matter. So therefore, Ubaloy must be straight to say, is this an executive statement? Is this an admission? Or this is a confession? You cannot have the both of the two worlds. It's either become one or the other.
So,
and also coming on the issue of Urata saying that I've made a mistake. Yes, Rata in that judgment, in section 174. However, you cannot come back and say, no, I retract that judgment. There must be an application in terms of Rule 42 to rescind that particular judgment.
Okay, remember, let me just take you back on Mgomezula's cross-examination on Gronye. He said, he asked her, ma'am, is it a confession or a statement?
Or an admission.
Or admission.
Yes.
I'm going to Yo, okay, carry on, my brother.
Yes, but I'm going to want to clarify. Remember, in terms of a confession is an equivocal admission of guilt. It's different from an admission. Admitting when chief is final, which yes, I admit that in terms of section 220, there is formal and informal admission. To say that yes, I admit, which what made that is an admission. It does not have to deal with the merit of the case. So in this regard, this particular statement that was introduced by Baloy in respect of accused number 1 and 2, he said that this statement are confession, therefore we need to have a trial to determine the admissibility thereof. You see where I'm going with this? So if it was an executive statement, we would have said no, let's go to trial in order to determine the admission of executive statement. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. So the issue is here. Our cannot have the both of the two worlds. It's either it's a confession or an executive statement. So remember now, we are now trying to blindfold the court so that we can accept this, so that you can question accused number 1 in this particular statement. And now he's coming in and saying, no, my lord, this is an executive statement, which is not correct characterization or classification of the document. So, all right, in this regard, you just have to rule in favor of the defense because they've made compelling arguments in this respect to say these are concessions and they are not binding to accused number 1, 3, 4, and 5. And remember also bringing in the issue of the Constitution, Section 35 also talks about the fair trial. So remember now, if you're questioned on what other accused have said, then therefore you'll be violating the right of the other accused, as Msholo has indicated. Section 35 is sacrosanct, or it's very important, and it needs to be protected because the rights of the accused need to be protected by the court. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm looking alone. I cream and Sino.
Okay, guys, so you can have your conversation. I wanted you to listen to Velapi. He is a lawyer and he explained exactly the things that you guys were asking.
Yeah. I just wanted to make a quick comment. Huh? Who's that?
Someone is disturbing by rain. Then we are listening. Says someone is disturbed by rain.
Yeah, just a small point. I think, okay, so we all know that these confessions are fake, right? I didn't think of this sooner though, but it was very premature of whoever it was to draw up these confessions, because it's not like people don't confess to things all over the world, right? But it doesn't come out like this. We don't see people saying, yes, it was me, him, and this, that day. And then on the day of court, they just take everything back. You only see that type of thing when somebody might plead guilty at a hearing, and then on trial, they might try to withdraw their plea or change their plea. But in terms of a straight up confession, this kind of thing doesn't happen. And what I'm trying to say is that, like, people only confess to things and mean it when they get offered like a plea deal. There was no plea deal from Beloy and the state and the MPA. They gave nothing. Like, I'm trying to say is, when you as a state or a prosecutor, when you approach an accused and say, give us something, we'll give you something, that's the only way you'll get a confession out of somebody. Okay? To come to us and tell us that these people confessed and they implicated the rest of them, and say that night that they said, oh, they felt like they had something to say, they wanted to clear their conscience. it's a load of it's BS. Like what kind of fool do you take me for? You know, that's not how people confess. It doesn't happen that way. That's somebody who wants to open and shut a case. You know, somebody colluding very much. So there was no plea deal, no plea bargain, nothing that was proffered to to the accused. So it so my opinion is just like on the outside of all of this. It's something that I could have said like weeks ago, but you know, I just kind of figured it out now. But just to say that it's all BS, you know, there's no confession, and a judge of 50 years can't consider things like this. Like he doesn't tap into that common sense and should, you know. I just wonder what you guys thought about that, but it's no big deal.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Because it's so strange. Even if you read the confession, even if Baloy reads the confession, it surprises the way it flows to say yes, I did this, yes, who was supposed to send where and where, without us being assaulted, without anything. Can somebody flow like that? So what is surprising?
Right. Yeah. I don't know, but I've got no faith in the judge. I don't think he's going to do anything to surprise us anymore. He's already showed us his worst side, so you know, there's nothing else left to give to him in terms of doubt.
And for me, in the trial within a trial, uh, today it just came clear that Judge Arata has been quick. He has been quick on trial within a trial to take those confessions as a true reflection, the admissibility part of it. He was supposed to wait until the court, the trial runs, like till this today, where he sees. Now today he see the reality part of this, but he can never say his actions, his cooperative today. It shows that he is being quickly judged over the admissibility of that conversation, confessions.
Yeah.
He was,
So what is Baloyi actually putting forward? Are they executive statements or are they confessions?
Baloy, when I was used to play on the street, we used to call people danda heads. You know, danda head. A danda
Yeah,
head doesn't give you a chance to accuse him. You
I hope
accuse,
so.
you accuse in this direction, he will take his own direction. So,
Right.
after lunch, he will stick to that the part that they don't. He will stick to that executive statements, and I will come with a piece of where he is or it's already got it. Judge Rata provided.
So are they coming back to argue again, or is he coming with the ruling?
No, he cannot come with a ruling after lunch. Baloy must argue first. So Baloy will come with a piece of rule, uh, executive rule or whatever. He will come with something, piece of law that will argue the facts that the defense will give him. He will never just let it go. And then Rata will rule in favor of him.
Yeah, but isn't it at the moment? It is this defense that are actually in charge of the proceedings. Now, Baloy is coming with an application. Is that legal for him to come up with an application? He has given his head of arguments, and the defense has responded. Is he still going to be given a second opportunity to counter what the defense has given as a head of arguments?
Yes, Rata was already given him as we speak. Didn't you hear him saying you want to continue or you'll continue after lunch. So after lunch, he's still going to argue. And then, mark my word, Rata will take his side. The judgment that he will say, wait a bit, I'm coming back with the judgment. The ruling. The ruling will be on Baloi's side. That's a fact. You see the defense here, they just talk for record. Because there's nothing that they're talking is logic.
Yeah, before the second, before they went for the break earlier, I did indicate to Noniguti, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that maybe sanity could come through in this case, because I think the defense have got a very strong argument. But I also indicated to say in the past, we've had so many arguments between the state as well as the defense. And I can't remember one that went in favor of the defense. It will be a first if it happens today that he can actually rule for the defense than against the state. But if logic and if conscience would apply to him, if he has got a conscience, I think the authorities that have been cited and some of the authorities that have been given and the case references that have been given, they actually talking about a constitutional right. It's about the constitution. They mentioned 217 and 219, which are a constitutional right of the accused, not to be sort of like prejudiced by one's confession. And because remember also those confessions are still alleged to be confessions that were done under duress. So that is why even the defense in their argument, they are not really calling them confessions. They are saying these are alleged confessions because they are still in context. There's still a contest over those confessions, irrespective of the fact that they were said to be admissible by Judge Rata during the trial within a trial. But the defense is still standing on their ground to say those confessions were not done willingly, they were coerced and everything. So you are saying Abando is going to come back again?
Mark my words, and then hear me out. After lunch, Baloy will argue, and he will come with a piece of legislation. He's digging somewhere, or even himself, Rata, because I doubt that they meet these guys. I doubt that they discuss. He will give him the guideline, and he will rule in favor of Baloy. Because Rata is in a mission. And this mission started long ago when he climbed that chair. That's why I'm saying the defense here, they are arguing the case, and they are arguing the applications of Baloy is just because of stating it in record. As he said, you can go wherever you go. So if they go wherever they go, they must have something in record.
Yeah. But I'm trying to be optimistic that probably today it would be a different story. I'm just trying to be optimistic on this one. Judging from the argument from the defense, but if he rules for the state again, I'm not going to be surprised. Rather, I will be more surprised if he rules against the state. And that would be a first, like I said.
Yeah, but if on this one, because this is a straightforward thing. If we rule against the defense, it's good because it's building up a case for an appeal. It will be easy for an appeal because these are one of the effects that will be very clear to everyone. Even on the appeal desk, it will be clear.
You're right on that one. You're right. And I think that is why we can see now the defense, they are not shying away from actually mentioning it in the court and even so that everyone can see exactly what is going on. Although we can see, those that have been following this case on a daily basis, we can see what's happening, what's going on. And we already anticipate, and I think a lot of people have even indicated that the judgment is already in Rata's closet somewhere. He's just waiting to put the date on it and then pronounce his verdict. I don't think it's going to go any other way from the look of things. But if he has got the conscience, like I'm saying, he should at least try to redeem himself today.
Exactly my point. That did you hear Rata admitting something from Numa? And which is I was surprised that Rata can see that this is wrong, but he's still continuing with it. And what person to continue with the wrong thing? Did you hear admitting that Zungu is a single witness with no with no what you call with no backup evidence?
No, Franz. You know what, my brother, Franz.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You know, if I give you an envelope, a brown envelope, right? For whatever reason, and I give you a mandate, and you take that envelope, you will try by all means to ensure that that envelope does not come back to me, so that you are able to utilize whatever is in the envelope, in the brown envelope. It seems like this is exactly what is happening here. That someone got a brown envelope somewhere, and even when this everything is against him, and he can actually see that it's wrong, but he would still go ahead with the wrong thing, even though he can see it.
Yeah, because it clearly indicates that yes, we are aware that Zungu is a single witness, and his statement is got no backup evidence. But he still continues to listen to that thing, because if according to law, if you are a single witness without an evidence, it is nothing. It is immaterial.
No, but there is a witness. There were witnesses that were supposed to have been called in order to corroborate Zungu's version. There are people like the same Kwabin who was at the hostel, the one who was hosting this this so-called party, and Zungu, the Absalomi, the father. He would come in and corroborate as the state actually alleges that he is the person that has got all the information. The information that came from Absalom Zungu, according to the state and according to the investigators, is the one that led to Zungu having to notice to say, you know what, when this is now being said, it now makes sense of what happened on the 26th of October 2014 when I was in that hostel. Remember? So there have been so many people that could have come in to corroborate the so-called version of Zungu, but they were not called in by the state. There's a reason why he didn't call them for that. My brother Dan, what's your take on this one?
The reason why he didn't call those remaining from the house?
No. Some of the witnesses who could corroborate Zungu's story, like, remember, Absalom Zungu is also implicated by the state that he is the one that said something which triggered the memory of Sizwe Zungu in order for him to come forward now with this evidence. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Beloy's not going to call the father. Yeah, I mean, just for that reason. I mean, he knows very well. Listen, put it like this. We all remember the day that Mukubo went in there, and before he even said a word, everybody was trying to preference him to make sure he sticks to like a point of the questioning and not to stray outside of that. So they didn't want him to say anything that they didn't want him to say. So they absolutely needed Mukubo. So they called him, and anybody else who's I guess more defiant than Mukubo No way. Like Kelly and Absalom, the Lord's not calling them. There's nothing he can do with them, especially now that he closed his case. And so he's going to be very, very particular with his question. There's nothing he can do with certain people because the problem is not just that they won't cooperate with the state. It's that all of these different people, Makubo, I don't know, maybe Kelly, Absalom, what they're going to do in their own separate testimonies, they're going to corroborate the cooking by Ganinda.
Yeah, but look at this one, my brother. Then look at this one. If it so happens, let's say, hypothetically speaking, Kelly is called into this court as a witness of the defense.
Right.
Kelly is actually said to be the mastermind. Which version would she go along with? That she is the mastermind, or that there were intruders in the house? Because remember, according to Ganinda says they've got evidence that Kelly is the mastermind. And remember also, she was included in the indictment. But because this case is prosecutorially led, the prosecution decided that they should not call Kelly. So it's a dicey situation on that one.
Let me tell you why. All right, one thing on Kelly real quick, and then I'll hand it over. If we was all of us, if we was all Kelly, the one and only thing, and I said this before, the only thing Kelly can do for herself going forward is to tell the absolute truth. Never mind even morality. If she wants to get herself off, she can't go there with a story about intruders because it leans on the story of Beloy, and then he's going to go right into the mastermind thing. She can deny. Once she goes there to say that there were intruders, she needs to come there and say, listen, I might have said some things that were not true before, but I was not under oath. Today, I'm under oath, and I'm telling you today, there were no intruders. She can do that. That's the worst thing she can do, like, to her, but in actuality, she's helping herself because they won't pursue her for perjury. They won't pursue her as a mastermind. She needs to say who pulled that trigger. She needs to say it. So there is no other thing she can go to say, because if she comes with something brand new, she can't come with something that the defense didn't say, that the state didn't say. No one's going to look into her claims. She has to come and say the truth. And the truth is Ganinda. So it's going to go into 375. It's going to align with Makubo. It's going to align with the incoming Absalom. That's the one thing Kelly can do. And she'll be fine.
Yeah, but then look at this one. Sorry, my brother Franz. Sorry, my brother Franz. Sorry, just a little bit. Remember, in this court, I don't know whether the evidence of the earlier proceedings would be considered. Remember, there are two versions in terms of what actually happened in that house. From the defense itself, actually, it's only that now maybe the one of Tefu is not going to be considered because now it's de novo. Remember what Tefu said. Tefu says it is actually Kelly who shot by mistake, isn't it?
Sir,
and then yes,
I'm terribly sorry.
And then there's Mngomezulu, who also came with another version that it was Longwe who shot. So we've got two versions coming from the defense, but the one that is standing now is the one that is in de novo, where it is claimed that Longwe is the one who pulled the trigger. So like you are saying, my brother, if Kelly comes and says the truth, and it so happens that by coincidence, it happens that the truth is that Longwe shot Senzo, then Kelly has got nothing to lose, does she?
No. Right.
Nev, let us keep in mind that Kelly is on the list of the defense as a witness. And what is she coming to do according to the witness, to the defense? It's to defend the matter that she is a mastermind. And then if Yes, she's pleading that she's not a mastermind. What is the second opinion that she's going to give? That no, now was not a mastermind. This is 1, 2, 3 happened. You get my
Um,
point? Because
yeah.
what is seeking now is to crush the Gineza story that she is a mastermind.
All right. But so that one's gonna play out. Kelly being the mastermind or not, that one's gonna play out on its own somehow, as long as she comes. But I want to address what he said about the two versions. The two versions, it helps that there's something outside of intruders, no matter what it is, because we nobody accepts the intruders. So that helps. What doesn't help is that too many people believe the possibility of somebody outside of Longway simply because Tefo said it. You're correct. De novo means it will not be considered. But one of the things I started to notice on my own, and people will not agree with me on this. Listen, I'm not a blind follower of anybody. Okay, I like who I like. I respect who I respect. And if I see something that changes, then that's just what it is. Tefo, I thought in that moment he did believe that it was Kelly, but now I'm thinking the way he's going so hard now on Kelly and saying nothing about Longway. Real quick on the defense, they're saying without even saying that Longway did it. They're not interested in if it's Kelly or Longway, because as long as they prove that the state is lying first, they can do whatever or not afterwards. It just depends on who comes to say what. They'll pursue who pulled the trigger once somebody says who pulled the trigger. But their thing is to discredit the state. But in terms of Tefo, let me tell you something. I have this thing that I thought something changed with Tefo. Noni put me on. I wasn't aware that he met with Chico. Why are you meeting with Chico? You have every right to, but it explains a lot. What I'm saying to people is, I think that it comes down to a fight between Kelly and Longway. They're fighting, and Chico. Kelly and Chico are not on the same side as people think they are. Because Chico, this whole entire time, even since our beloved Ngoma Zulu was alive, he was saying, follow the state. The state has the case. What has the state been saying the whole time? It was Kelly. Kelly is not on Chico's side if Chico was saying, follow the state. Kelly, so now she's on her own because the defense doesn't believe her, or they think she did it, or something to do with it, and now the state is saying her. Kelly and Longway are fighting. So what does Tefo do? I don't know who called who, but they met, and I'm saying, me, no proof. I'm just saying, yeah, something persuaded our boy, and now he's saying something about, and now there's other YouTubers online talking about Kelly. You got idiotic people talking about Kelly's a mastermind. Listen to what Tefo said and all of that. And then, yeah, Kelly pulled the trigger. So Kelly hired herself to pull the trigger. Okay. They don't even listen to themselves anymore. It's not Kelly. It's Longway. Longway is and Chico was trying to absolve themselves from the gun, and from the from ownership of the gun, and from the pulling of the trigger. It's father and son. They both are in heat. They're both are in hot water. Kelly's got the least to worry about between all those people. I'm telling you, they're not seeing eye to eye. So Tefo, I think he's on that side. He's on the Twala side at this point. I'm sorry to say, that's my view. You can hate me if you want to. Okay, I felt bad for him when he was arrested. I felt bad for his children and everything. But how far back does that collusion go if he's been saying it was Kelly? Thank you for giving us something outside of the intruders when you did, because I didn't know about 375 until you said it. But how far back? Because you've been saying Kelly for a long time, since before they even touched you. So I don't know.
Okay, my brother, let's look at this one. At the moment, the defense, what are they defending? Are they defending the intruder version, or they are defending the mastermind version? It seems like they are defending the mastermind version, isn't it? But
no, that both, my brother. They are defending. You must remember. There is one time that Muniz has asked the question that we are asking. That us as defense, we actually don't know where is this case going, because there are two versions here. Like today, if you listen to Shololo, she repeated the same. She counted the three things when she was talking about those confessions. I just remember, I just forget what she said, but there's three things that she said they don't know actually what they're defending. And that's what makes this case unfair. That's what made this trial unfair. And the judge never said anything about it.
But if you look at what Lois' questioning is leading to, it's about the fact that there was a contractual killing, right? Because I mean, why would then they bring the evidence of Gininda where I think he had something where it says there was a in the 3 cell phones of Longwe, Kelly, and accused number 3, there was some stash of money that was in there, of which to me it suggested that Gininda strongly believes that there's a contractual killing that happened, right? And in fact, even the confessions, if the confessions are admissible and they end up having an impact on the verdict, the confessions themselves are also suggesting that it's a contractual killing, right? But now, if Kelly comes then and says no, she was not involved in any, because even I myself, that issue of the cell phones and the like, I really don't believe that story of the money belonging. How would have the money appeared in Longwe's cell phone? How would it have appeared in accused number 3's cell phone and not appearing in accused number 5's cell phone? Because the accused number 5 seems to be the one that they are claiming is the one that was communicating with Kelly, isn't it? Yeah. But now, how would then the money appear in accused number 3 instead of number 5? So that money issue also for me is very misty. It's not clear.
No, but that money means nothing anyway. The money, listen, in a normal court, any court, that money means. Listen, everybody in the entire courtroom could have a picture of that money. It means nothing. That's a lazy prosecutor's way, or investigator's way of trying to pin something on somebody. A picture of money is not physical money. You can't say this is the proof that they were paid, because where's the money? Where is the money? Who has this money? You know.
And the worst part, then, that money is in a social media picture. It's not coming from anyone. It's not shot by accused number 3. It's not shot by Longo. It's not shot by Kelly. It's in a social media thing. The downloaded picture. You and I, we can have it also.
Are you saying? Wait, I think I've seen that picture one time. But if anybody ever seen that picture, you can just screenshot it, right? And then you could do what's called I forget what, a reverse lookup. And if that picture just comes from anywhere on the internet, it'll tell you the original source. But maybe they took a picture of money. It is a real picture of money, but it still doesn't belong to anybody involved. So I'm just saying, by chance, if anybody's seen the picture, screenshot it and go to yandex.com and do or anywhere actually, just do a reverse lookup and you can see where that image really came from.
So then what you're suggesting could be that it could have been planted in the cell phones of the 3 people.
Of course somehow. It was. Of course. That picture, yeah. I mean, but it's weak evidence anyway. A picture, so what? Okay, so they said Longway had the picture too. What? Can they even explain that? Like, they shot themselves on the foot, pun intended, on that one. Like, why would Longway have a picture of the money too now,
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. at least maybe if let's say they were able to download. In fact, what was the issue? What was the story? By the way, they downloaded the cell phone of number 3, Longwe and Kelly, and they found out that the common denominator was that bag of money, a transparent bag of money.
Correct.
It was that so that they downloaded it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they are stating their facts on, that it was downloaded, all those 3 phones, and then they found a common visible bag of money in their phones. So it's a common one. So it shows
but also look at this one. You have number 5, accused number 5 is a well-known Inkabi in KZN. And I think his name even came up in the Mazanga Commission. In fact, yes, through Mkwanazi. Was it at the ADOC or was it at... It was actually at Mazanga, where he would kill, then he would get bail. When he's out on bail, he kills again, then he's arrested until he killed about 4 people. Okay, those are his crimes. Granted that he is an Inkabi that is well known in KZN, it's on record. But now, what doesn't make sense for me is, let's say, allegedly or hypothetically, these guys are going to the Spaza house. They are going to assassinate a well-known figure in Senzo Meyiwa. Then they leave a well-experienced Inkabi in the vehicle, and they send a novice, in Tanzi to go inside the house. And remember, Untanzi did not even have a gun, according to the eyewitnesses, the so-called eyewitnesses who were in the house. He did not have a gun. So this is his initiation. On the day of him being initiated to become a killer,
And
he's introduced to such. I mean, does that make sense?
No, and not only that.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I want to get to where you are saying in the statement of intruding. Yesterday, or on that confession, when I was listening carefully, the witnesses, Umtokozis, Longwe, who is that other one? They say they passed him in the car. That lady, the Machelwa, the next door.
Oh,
And then, Untabise, and all those witnesses, eyewitnesses, they say after gunshots, they saw the intruders coming out, running to the direction of the park. And then is where they vanished. When the police van came, they went that side, and then they got them they found them nowhere. But on the confession yesterday, I was listening so careful. They say they shot after shot, they ran into the car and flee. Do you get that statements? The two conflicting statements.
Yeah.
The witness running to the direction of the park.
Right.
The so-called confession.
There was also this other witness. I think the one that is deceased now. And remember, this was at night. Ne? This was at night. Who was able to see the gold tooth on accused number 3 at night?
Yes.
In other words, I mean, accused number 3 was widely opening his mouth, but in that darkness, he was able to see the gold tooth.
So that's why I wanted to intervene where you were talking about the evidence of how they came out from the house. Because coming out from the house is too much contradiction there. They came running into the car where the number 5 was waiting for them to drive the car. Suddenly, all the witnesses that they have programmed, they say those guys ran in the direction of the park.
And Longway ran out too. So where did he run?
Longway ran out too. Longway say he jumped the wall.
Oh.
To next door.
there is an interview where Longwe was asked by, I think it was Mas Chaba and who is this other guy? He was still at Metro, who is now at 947. Who is it? I can't remember the name, man. Right. He actually narrated that he went out and then he couldn't call the police because he had left his phone in the house. And Jiggy, he changed his story now, and he said he had his phone in his pocket. So you can see that it's actually a finder kind of a story, which was manufactured so that it could suit the narratives that they want to push.
And even the presenter, you sensed it in that moment. But yeah.
And in the other side, Sylvia says, in the other side, Lieutenant General Sylvia says he went first to the hospital. But in the commission, he say he went straight to home, and he found the scene was contaminated.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this case, it's another one. This one. You normally sometimes you would have cases which are very straightforward, and then you know that here, what are you dealing with? This one in particular, I think it has been messed up by the prosecution.
No, look, the crime scene. No police officer has the guts to tamper a crime scene other than a commissioner or a national commissioner or deputy, somebody at that level who has done something like that before. That's why I said the other day, that whole thing with Maggie Perry, he probably asked them, listen, who can you pin this on? Who, you know what I'm saying? And they probably told her, oh, the neighbor. You know, I think Sabia came, he ordered the new bullet to be planted, and he did that with his people. You know, anybody could just come after and say, yeah, the neighbor came and tampered the scene. But one more thing also about the intruders. Don't forget that Zandy said that her and her mother went toe to toe with the intruders at the door. By the way, one had a gun. Zandy said she did a rugby
What's wrong
move.
with your line then?
No, it's not me.
No, his line is okay. His line is okay. It's clear.
I saw it.
Yeah, but remember, what's up, brother? Nah, but remember, Zandy said she went toe to toe with these guys at the door, her little self. So all of it doesn't
My
make
line
sense.
is your line, guys.
Then because what about easy to do, I'll remind you, Anton.
Right. Noni, are you back, my sister?
Who can I go to? Hey, I don't know.
Okay. Can we give to my brother Robert?
Yeah. So then
Robert. Yeah, we are hearing your side conversation. Do you have an input? I think it's almost about time now.
Sorry, guys. I think Noni left me outside. I've been out on the corridors for 1 hour now.
But she seems to be should be here.
She's back. She accepted because I was waiting for her to allow me in.
You got the floor, bro.
Okay,
you've got the floor, my brother. You can give your input.
Oh, quick one. Earlier on, when I wanted to make an input, I wanted to align myself with the previous brother who I think he left now. He left. When you guys were discussing whether Balo is going to respond, yes, indeed. Now at 2 o'clock, Balo is going to respond, and he can respond 3 days. So we are going to be subjected to Balo once again. He's going to try and rebut everything that the defense have said, and the judge will be listening to him, and they'll adjourn until Monday. He will continue. So it's unfortunate that we're still going to listen to Baloyi on this one, but I want to say well done to defense. I think they, even though they were ambushed yesterday, because I don't know how possible can a judge be the one who ask a question and say to Baloyi, is this statement admissible? This was supposed to be an objection coming from defense, but it came from the judge. And unfortunately, or I don't know, miraculously so, I was wondering how Baloyi was so prepared to answer that question because he didn't even look for papers. There was a paper, there were papers and a book in front of him, and then he continued to respond to the judge. So this can tell you that this is properly prepared outside this somewhere. Because how can a judge and the prosecutor be so sync? Because the judge just raised one statement. The judge even tried to guide him, say, what are you going to use, Kappa? If you remember that, he said, are you going to use Kappa?
Yeah.
And I was wondering, how judge, you object. I mean, you ask a question, from there you guide, you allow a prosecutor to present his case, and then you're also guiding him. And then this morning we see a different Rata now. I don't know whether he's trying to throw them a curve ball. Now he's a friendly, he's got time to listen and ask questions, and he seems to be reading from their notes. So I don't know, but knowing Rata, he never ruled against Baloyi. So I think defense can speak the whole night, the whole day, the whole week. He can still say no. So yeah. Let's see what Baloyi. Let's see what Baloyi will say now at 2.
Yeah, good one. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember that too. Yeah, he was prepared right then and there. You're right. It kind of just flew right over my head, though.
Yeah, we're just hoping for sanity to prevail in this case.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, and I saw a comment. I don't know if it's back yet, but I saw a comment about an affidavit from Longway. Real quick about that. Shoot, they're back. Yeah, they're back, guys.
Okay, big.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you after 4. Bye-bye.
Noni, you just disappeared, my sister.
I told you I'm going to the shop.
Oh, okay. No, it's
left-
okay. Let's listen to what happens next.
All right, then. See you at 4 after 4 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sure.
All right.